Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Mother of Carmen. I'm back with a quick little story time. This story time is actually going to be about friend betrayal and just being like putting the signs together, I guess. Some would call it reaching, but to me it's spirit revelation, and I also had a dream to confirm it. So we're going to get into it. I just want to start out by saying thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. I appreciate you and the fact that you were able to find me. I'm sure there's something in this message that you will be able to relate to. So if that is the truth, the cards never lie. This is going to be my story time, but I also feel I was called to do this reading when I was working on my businesses last night, and I just kind of put it off because I didn't like the way the first reading came out. So I'm going to be a little nicer, I guess, about the situation. Not that I really care, but there are children involved. So, I care about the children, not so more the people who are, not in the right energy. So, this friend that I had met when I lived in Germany, starting like the year 2009, and I left Germany in 2012 when I was in sophomore year of high school. And, me and his friend, we finished high school apart, but we ended up both, after high school living in California at the same time, but in different areas. And, we never met up when we were in California, but she did come to my first son's baby shower. And upon that time, I had realized, she was to my friends, stuff like that, but she had finally, got her new man and whatnot. So she has been involved with her new man for a while. And when I moved to Las Vegas for the third time, she finally realized, all what I was saying about California being, because I'd already been living in Las Vegas. So, we kind of stopped talking for a while, and then randomly one day she hit me up and was like, hey girl, I'm about to move to Las Vegas, this and that. And I was like, all right, let's see where it goes. And it ended up just being a big old betrayal. But anyways, so long story short, she would come over and she did my nails before I had my second son. And this was last year, so it's pretty recent. And she is a freelance nail tech, and she did my birthday, not my birthday, but my baby shower nails, I guess, or my birth nails. And honestly, I didn't like the way they came out, but I just let her freestyle and do her thing. But anyways, I know that's kind of rude, but it's just the truth, and she just she wanted to do them for the experience. So I just said, go ahead. Now, let me tell you, after I had my first son, she came over to see him and stuff like that. But when she was doing my birth nails, I realized, the whole time we would have conversations, it was really just her ranting about her and her relationship, and that type of shit drains your energy so much. And I realized that after that, I kind of just let it go. My son was born, months had passed, and when she was here, when I was going, after my son was born and months had passed, I went over to her house, and she was telling me how, when she would come over to my house, she felt unwanted because my children's father was here. And I was just kind of like, okay, you should have told me then so I could adjust the situation in front of everybody and we could have handled it then. But she didn't really mention it then, so she waited to say that. And she had told me, upon her moving back to Las Vegas, she was out here by herself at first, and she was, telling me about her relationship problems and stuff like that. Well, she was speaking about these relationship problems out loud in front of my ex, and it's just like, okay, well, how do you feel unwanted if this is this type of stuff that you're coming over talking about, but at the same time, I'm not here to judge you. We were just doing our thing, having a little girl time, bonding, I guess, or whatever. And after she left, me and my ex would talk about it. And my ex just somehow miraculously knew, all the specifics of how her situation was going to unfold. And it just really baffled me because it's like, okay, you're not her man. You don't talk to her. You're not really involved in her life to know, how her situation is going to fall out and plan out specifically. So that was like a red flag to me. So I was just like, okay, why does my man know about how your man's about to do and how your whole relationship's about to go? Well, I had suspicion to believe that they had been communicating behind my back in some sort of form, because when she came over for the first time, she also told me that my children's father was outside, and she felt like almost as if he was expecting her. So, people like don't realize that they tend to snitch on themselves when it comes to these things at 5:05 on the clock. And it's just kind of like, okay, like what's the point here? So a little backstory. My children were like, they weren't planned, but they were surprises, but they were created out of love to me. And I'd always wished to just like have twins first, so that way I could just have, a boy and a girl and just be done. But it all comes with intention. So, long story short, I had pulled on this situation, and God was telling me, it's all about intention, and he gave his intentions to your best friend. And I'm just like, what? Ain't no way. So, I didn't put these pieces together until recently, like 2-3 months ago. But anyways, so fast forward, my second son is born in June, and then, we're hanging out over summer, stuff like that. And come like November, early December, I was hanging out over there, and this was like right before I was about to go on a family trip for Christmas last year, and I took my sons with me. But before we left, I had stayed the night at my friend's house because of some situation problems that I was having, and I just didn't really want to like be at my house because I was feeling like I was being watched. And every little move, like I was being tracked, y'all. And every little move that I did, every little move that I made, it was just like I would always get a text from my children's father like, "Where are you?" or something like that. Like, "You're not even in this state. Like, stop worrying about me." And come to find out, like, so she had my friend had, I called her my best friend at the time, but no longer. She called me over and was like, "Hey," and told me that she was pregnant. So I was like, okay, cool. That's I'm happy for you, of course. And she already has a child, but this is her second pregnancy. So she says, but she's also been afflicted with some other things, but that's not my business. I mean, yeah, it is, but anyways, she had told me, I'm pregnant again, and pretty much wanted me to guess like what she was going to have. So I guessed, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, the energies feel like a boy, but it could be a girl." And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl." And I'm just like, okay, like, okay, 7:37 on the clock. And it's just like, okay, well, how do you know what it is unless you sat there and really had sex and and set the intentions of what the pregnancy was going to accumulate to. So I asked her, I was like, do you remember like the point of conception? Like, do you know like when, like, did you feel like, what did you feel when, to let you know that you were pregnant? Like, did you just find out through the pregnancy test? Were you trying to get pregnant? And she said that she wasn't trying to get pregnant or anything like that, but she just so happened to remember that the feeling of knowing when the sperm did meet the egg. So, and it's just a very distinctive, powerful feeling. And I feel like women know this feeling. So it's kind of recognizable. But she also like played the very surprised by the pregnancy emotions of it. So I was just like, okay, that's weird. If you kind of planned it, then you should have been expecting results. But anyway, so one day she called me over and she was like, I want you to look at the ultrasound pictures. I finally got my ultrasound. So she showed me the ultrasound and it ended up being twins. And I'm just like, okay, go ahead, girl. Like, I screamed. I was so happy for her. Couldn't wait to meet the kids. Make sure you have a good pregnancy. But she's still pregnant, and that's just like, I'm not going to see them kids. And because I figured this out. But anyways, and I was talking to her, and I just remember when I screamed in her house, like, of excitement and pure happiness for her, that she looked at me crazy and her man looked at me crazy, almost as if they knew something was off about the entire pregnancy. And it kind of, and after that moment of exhibiting, like, giving them all this positive emotion about their pregnancy and then paying attention and noticing, like, they weren't even reciprocating the same energy, it kind of, like, really threw me off. And I was like, okay, something's not right in this situation. So as I ponder and try to put the pieces of the whole thing together, I had noticed her behavior was very, like, she was very upset about the whole situation. She was very, like, very, very upset to find out she was having twins. And then she was very upset and, like, very, like, she was like a rabid dog barking at her man to be like, oh, you better take care of your babies, this and that. But he wouldn't even say anything out of line or anything, like, out of pocket. So to me, that just displays like what are you trying to hide type of behavior? Like, what are you trying to like put on him? Like, what are you trying to make him responsible for if he's not responsible for it, you know? Like, overexerting power to the fullest. So I was working on my businesses last night, and God was telling me, you know, pull on the situation. Now, I go on my family trip for Christmas, and while I'm gone on this trip for Christmas, I had like this little eraser type thing like show up in one of my bags that I had, because I had left from her house straight to the airport. So, and it showed up in my bags, and it had 3 little blue hearts on it. And I'm like, what the heck is this from? Then I go onto her page, on her Instagram page, and she had a post with 3 blue heart emojis on it. And I'm just like, what? So I pulled tarot on it, and I was like, Holy Spirit, show me that, you know, Spirit was pretty much telling me that she was acting that way because those are not the man that she's with children. They were my baby daddy's children. So my children's father slept with my best friend somehow, some way behind my back. And I was just like, are you kidding me? And I kept pulling on it, kept pulling on it. Spirit's like, I can't give you more truth than that. And I didn't record those readings at the time because I didn't really have a place to set up and do the reading or whatnot. But y'all, I will not lie to you. When I came back from this Christmas trip, I had so many crazy dreams and vivid visions when I was there on that trip. And I also, when I came back, I was also having more vivid dreams and stuff like that. Now, the most vivid dream I had about this situation, and this was confirmation beyond Spirit. Her man came to me in my dreams, right, with like younger, like we were in like this scenic, we were in like the countryside setting. I don't know where we were, but we were walking down the street, and we were all like throwing a football, and she wasn't there, but it was, her man was there, and we were like throwing a football, and I don't know, it was just like some of my family members and like some of like his people that could be younger brothers or cousins or something like that. I don't know, but my sister's boyfriend was there too, and in this dream, and we were just walking down the street, and I'm analyzing the dream, and I'm just like, okay, something's not right. And it kind of made me realize, like, when you go to different locations, the mind is able to cleanse itself of negative energies and bring in pure, you know, states of thinking, states of being. Now, her man came to me in my dream and was like, bruh, like pulled me, like I was walking straight, but he like pulled my shoulder back, and so that I would turn sideways. And I'm just like, what? Like, what do you want? And he's like, how did you know? And I'm like, know what? He's like, them ain't my babies. And I was like, whoa, like, what? And before I even had this dream, I had messaged him, like, something was telling me to message him and tell him, like, you need to get them, you need to get checked, you need to check and see, make sure those are your kids type thing. And I just had this dream that he came to me and was asked after I said all that, and, you know, he was defensive in the messages and stuff like that, but I just left it alone after I sent my message and did what Spirit told me to do. You know, save another black man from being incriminated, I guess, or being forced to take care of something or a situation that's not real, should not be his full responsibility. But so I did that, and I realized, like, okay, maybe this wasn't my place. Am I doing too much? But God was like, do it. Like, don't be scared. Do it. And I realized, like, I like helping people out, and it may not always come or seem like the best way of help, especially given the situation, but at the end of the day, help is help. You either take it or you don't, and you apply it or let it fly, or let it go, or let it die. And I just realized, like, whoa, like, what the like, I'm powerful, y'all. Like, I was like, dang, girl, how did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen to your intuition really gets you very far. So after that, I realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't have spoke on the situation, whatever, but I just let it go out the window. I did my due diligence on my end, and I continue to live my life and focus on me within and what I need to accomplish physically. So I was working on my businesses last night, minding my own business, and a little freaking birdie comes in talking about do the reading on it. And I'm just like, oh gosh, okay. So this is my quick little story time, and the first card out was King of Cups in reverse, okay? King of Cups in reverse is no love there, no commitment, no fulfillment, like played type of energy. okay? And I didn't know, like, if this was her man's energy or what, but somebody's cups ain't filled because they was fucking around playing games. And you'll see him holding the cards, you know, floating around on water. Like, you don't have no stability in this water. You don't have anything in this water. You floating on water. You don't have a roof over your head, nothing. You're just exposed to all the elements, and that's that. So I took that as a sign, and I was just like, ooh-wee. And then, King of Cups, being emotionally balanced, compassionate, and diplomatic. So this came out, and I was just like, okay, I am definitely not tripping on what I was picking up on, and I'm definitely not going crazy either, because, like I said, I'm very emotionally balanced, and feminine and masculine energies, very, very balanced. Please excuse my nails. I meant to repaint them last night, but I didn't. So that's what I'm about to do after this. And then this card just gives me, like, potential wannabe king energy in reverse. Like, you know, the clothes and shit can look as good as it presents itself to be, but the energy of all of it is in reverse. So false advertisement, false, what's the word? False being, false men, false fulfillment. There's no fulfillment there. And it's almost as if, like, okay, I'm hearing she did it to herself. And anyways, the second card that came out was Four of Cups. Like, y'all, look at the cups not being fulfilled. Look how they're just floating away. And there's a little nice dolphin, you know, trying to help you hang on to that one little one that you may need, or the last little one that you could have in order to keep yourself established upon this rock. But I mean, again, look at the energies just out in the, like, the whole situation, the whole business out in the open. You know, the weather's bad, the weather's off, the water's hectic, splashing everywhere, because the motherfucking tides and the waves of the whole situation is coming to light. It's becoming the truth. And you know, this could represent, like, a spirit guide or somebody, like, you know, I feel like this dolphin is me. I loved dolphins as a kid, and this was me, like, holding up the cup of truth, holding up the cup of, you know, what you could have had had you just told the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of, like, really, like, irritating, because like, she knew, like, I wasn't even really attracted to my ex at this point in my life anyway. So I really wouldn't have gave a fuck. That bitch told the truth. I probably would have smacked her a little bit, but I mean, I you know, I've learned that violence ain't the answer. But at the same time, you know, we could have talked it out, but at this point, I really just don't give a fuck. I really don't care. That's not my problem, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's my masculine talking, energy talking. And then on the other side, you know, there's that girl, why would you, you know, there's the emotional part of me that would be like, you can have him, sis, because I really don't care. He's for everybody. And I found out my ex was cheating on me behind my back and all that anyway, so it was just a done data situation. And I had kicked him out around the months, like 2 months before I even went on this trip and was going to hang out at her house with my kids. And then the top of the line, how I do my reading, sometimes I'll pick like a what's important, super, like a charge me up at the top of the deck, on the top of the spread card, like what's on top energy, like what's the utmost, most truthest part of this situation. And here we have the Judgment card. And if you look by my little chip finger right here, hold on, let it focus. Look at this man's leg. This man's leg is bent, one of them straight and the other one is bent off crooked backwards, because you know, I'm picking up motherfuckers was walking places they had no business walking to, or, you know, stepping to. And, you know, this up here is the Ascended Master. The Ascended Master is calling judgment on this whole situation. This right here is giving me three people involved, 2 men, 1 female. And then I also recall her telling me that she had messed with this guy that was in the military, and his name just so coincidentally happened to be the name of the guy that I had seen after I got rid of my children's father. And she had been seeing him before I don't know if they're the same. Let's just ask. Holy Spirit, show me that her military man was my sneaky link. I guess he's not a sneaky link. Okay, Holy Spirit. Okay, Holy Spirit. Let me just show y'all how it came out. Oh God, this came out yesterday when I did this reading, so I'm gonna take it. Four of Pentacles, lack of luster, penny pinching, having to save what you have, hiding, going into hiding, having to withdraw yourself, isolation. Okay, let me reread on it. If there's anything I missed, because I love reread. Overspent, no. Saving money, security, conservatism, scarcity, and control. So yeah, having a penny pinch, and someone was trying to control a situation that got out of fucking hand. And that is why judgment had to be called. Look at these people down here sick. They are sick. Look at them holding their hearts. Look at them falling over. Look at them bent leg, bent back, fucked up, cracked, all that. Like, they just down bad. Like, seriously, crying out for help, asking God, please, why did I do this to this person? And, I was actually going, and this is when I was going through, like, one of my DNA upgrades, a grander awakening, and I was going over to her house and just talking to her, telling her about how the level of my spirituality was growing and has expanded, and how it's just picking up on all these signs of different situations in my life. And she was just looking at me, like how when you're talking to somebody and you can feel that the energy is not being returned to you. I was just talking to her, just trying to have a deep conversation. And all she would want to do is like talk shit about her man, or, sit there on her phone. And that type of energy to me is just like, okay, like, you stuck in high school, like, you back, you're not on my level. Like, nothing that we talked about was of substance, nothing that, as hard as and there's only so much you can do, and at that point you just got to cut people off. But I really was like trying to keep this friendship with her, but it was one of those friendships, like, she was just so stuck in wanting to be a toxic person to where, like, there was no coming back from it. And she was just like a naggy, just like a bitter Nancy, a nagging Nancy, no matter what. And it was just like, damn, like, you have everything that you could want. Your parents still fucking help you out, and you still like a negative person. Like, are you serious? Like, you're a grown-ass woman and your parents still help you with everything. There's no reason why you should be a nagging Nancy, unless you got some shit, some skeletons in your closet. But given the Four of Pentacles, that really had explained, like, the control part, why she kept nagging and dragging her man. And then we had the Magician. Okay, and she knew, like, that I'm very spiritual, I ain't gotta lie about it, and I just speak my truth. And she is like a fake Bible rapper, Bible stepper, whatever you want to call her. And had, like, I had asked, she had randomly got like a tattoo behind her ear that was like the number 7, but it spelled out the word 7. And I was like, what's your tattoo mean? And she was like, oh, it's an angel number. So, of course, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, so you know a little bit about spirituality, so you might be dibbling and dabbling into magic and stuff like that. Well, I remember that she had rushed her and her man off to bed the night that I was supposed to leave, because they had work in the morning, right? I mean, they did have work, but just another sign. She ended up, I ended up staying up watching videos and educating myself that night. And then I peeped, like, I heard like loudly, it was like 2:30 in the morning, her and her man like laughing in her room. So I was like, what? Like, that's kind of strange. You just like left me out here hanging to go say you going to bed. And granted, do what you got to do, but don't lie. Like, bitch, I'm right here in your living room. Like, what the fuck? That's weird shit. And I had texted her, and I'm just like, oh, y'all sound so happy, this and that. And mind you, I'm so blindsided to like the truth of the situation at this time. And I'm just like, okay, I can't wait to have me a relationship like that, to where, we up giggling and cackling, together all night. Because, shoot, that just wasn't my situation at the time. But, wishing the best for her and her situation. And, like, really, like, giving her props. Because, I'm proud of you. You moved out of expensive California, came here. Now you're about to have a new family, new life, all that. So, anyways, but the having the number 7 tattooed, okay, let me know, like, okay, so you know about angel numbers, okay, so that lets me know, like, you may know about crystals, you may know about magic, stuff like that. Now, the Magician card came out, and I'm thinking, okay, given the lies of being up all night after saying you was gonna go to bed, what was you in there laughing about? Like, were you in there laughing about me because you were in there doing magic on me as I'm in your living room, thinking that shit's going to have an effect on me? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the card, you have the wand, you have the sword of truth, you have the pentacles, and you have the cups. That's the magician. The magician is the first card out, and it came out in the upright. So magic would, phone call. Look at that. So magic was literally magic was being done on me as I was sleeping in the living room, and she had like this Bath and Body Works candle burning all night on the table. And I just left it burning because I knew the candle was protecting me. So any magic that the bitch was doing upon me backfired to her. And I also had like this spirit, like I called it like my spirit spiral, but it was one of those circle cages that you can open and put different crystals in. And I remember sleeping with it in my pocket, and I couldn't find it. And so I had asked her to look for it, and she didn't find it there. But literally days after me asking her to find it, I found it in my house. And I was just like, whoa, like that shit time traveled on some shit. And I was just like, interesting, like magic is really kicking up around here. And I just remember like getting like this eerie feeling when I was there at her house, almost like her house was like too quiet. And then next thing I know, I hear giggling and cackling in the bedroom, and I text her and she texts me back, and it's like 2:30 in the morning, and she went to bed at like 10. So I'm just like, okay, something ain't right. So after that, I just asked this card, like, Holy Spirit, give me the truth on this situation. Oh my God. It is what I'm picking up on true. And tower moment, y'all. When I spoke on the truth and told that shit, look at it. Just look at the chaos. You know, shit's uprivaled. You got these avocados. You got the flying oil vases, candle fireworks, tables turning, chairs breaking, a lot of fights, a lot of like, oh shit, what the fuck moments. Okay, I did not see that shit coming. And look at all this magic, it's just all backfiring. Okay, it's all trying to come after Alice, but she realizes what the fuck is going on, flips that shit, or speaks on it, or whatever she said, this motherfucking table. Okay, and that's 3 major arcana right at the top, going ahead and clarifying this whole situation. And you know, at the same time, I know I'm not the only one who's been through some shit like this. And the crazy part is, I'll give them the props. Like they hid this whole situation very, very well. I give them credit for that, because, you know, God sees all too as well. And all dark magic sent upon me will always be returned to sender immediately, because I know I'm protected by the Most High God. And people hate that I am who I am. And, you know, every time I say what I am, or what I come from, or what I do, or what I'm attracted to doing, or what I just naturally do, it becomes a problem for them, and they end up like being intimidated by my energy, and they end up ghosting themselves, or, you know, trying to split from me, which at this point, rejection is protection. And I am just so grateful that I have these abilities and the ability to put these pieces together, because it really and truly does help me out, and it lets me see through so much. Okay, y'all. And after I had this dream, right, I sat up in my bed, and I was like, 2 of swords, all this shit. Man, look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, coming out right on top of 7 of cups. Okay, 7 of cups is seeing perfectly through illusions, seeing perfectly through distractions, seeing perfectly through the fucking wardrobe of masks, triggers, and magic. Okay, that's that card. The 2 of swords. Okay, now the Cheshire Cat, he's symbolizing the moon, because the Cheshire Cat has the ability to go invisible. He's immune to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then we got little this was me in this situation. Little sweet Alice being blinded by the truth, but okay, focus. But has her swords drawn, kept up, guarded. Okay, and it's just like, okay, which direction you gonna go at this point? And you know what I did? I took my ass right over here and spoke that motherfucking truth, took that blindfold off, and became a Cheshire Cat and went ghost on that ass. Because I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm going to deliver it to you, and then I'm going to just leave it like that. And, you know, at that point, let me see. Am I missing anything in 2 of Swords? Nope. Difficult decisions, weighing the options, impasse, and avoidance. So, you know, spoke the truth to who needed to hear the truth. You know, the person who was being incriminated in the whole situation. Delivered it, moved on. It's no longer an issue in my life or anything that I got to deal with. So I'm just grateful for it, and I'm here to share my motherfucking truth and my story with you guys, because this is what makes me happy. I don't know if y'all can tell by my energy, but we out here fighting these spiritual bullies and shit, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a grand rising, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. I'm working on changing up some things that I be saying on here. As far as my intro and stuff like that, I just be so hyped, I'd be ready to jump in right straight to it. I don't really have like a set intro or anything like that, because I don't like sound like a robot, and every one of my readings are different. So, and they'll never be repeated. So, on that note, I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I hope you guys are truly manifesting the things that you want in your life. And I hope that all the positive things that you want to accomplish or become accomplished in your life, may they come to you physically. Okay, I'm picking up, may all the physical communication, okay, that we need to spice up our life. Y'all know summer's right around the corner. We in summer. We about to be in summer. And spring's like kind of like ended. I live in Vegas, so like summer's here, but we're in that transition period of spring is ending, summer is here, and summer is all about that fun life. So, you know what I'm saying? My birthday's coming up in August, so I'm just hyped. I'm starting to feel like the hype, the happiness of the seasons, and I'm a fire sign as well, and I know we're in Aries season right now, so, I'm on fire, baby. But yeah, it's just all good vibes for me, guys. And I just hope that you guys are all resonating in high vibrations as well. 31:31 on the clock. Ooh, and I'm gonna leave it there. May the positive shit never stop. Bye, guys. Thanks for commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for viewing and giving me the time. Thank you for your likes. And I hope. Oh goodness. I hope that you guys all keep your hope, keep your faith in the Most High God, and just know that we're always going to strive. All right? I hope you guys are doing great. Again, I'm going to end it there. Bye.